Alright, here's a B-29 tour. Here's the bulkhead at the aft bomb bay. And we're going to be going up into the cockpit here in a little bit. This tube is how the tail gunner was able to get back to the back. Because everything was pressurized, these bulkheads would seal. This compartment here was, of course, pressurized. The bomb bays were not. So we'll come out, work our way up. Now, normally the pilot and the co-pilot and navigator, radio operator, and engineer would not enter through the front bomb bay like we were going to. They would actually come up through the nose landing gear. Of course, this isn't all configured the way it used to. These oxygen bottles would have been stored somewhere else. But we're going to be going into this bulkhead here, into the navigator and radio operators area. Here we have the radio operator station. As far as I know, I mean, I'm not trained on this. This is just me deducing what's what. Of course, here's the navigator. Navigator's map case, his table. Looks like some form of radar. Of course, this table lifts and folds down so they have more room. There's this is where the bottom turret would have been. Right above us here, you can see they've kind of closed it off. That's where the top turret would have been. I don't know, but that might be a control for that, for the bottom turret. I'm not sure. Of course, up here where the fan is to provide airflow, if you move it out of the way, you can see the tunnel that they would have to move up and down to the tail gunner and whatever else was located in that room in the back. As we move forward here into the cockpit, we see the engineer's desk. Now, what I find interesting about this is usually the pilot has control of the engines, but here we have the mixture, the carburetor control, the throttles, and the propeller control all in front of this station back here looking aft, so he can look out the window and see his engines. Of course, on this side, it's over the map keeper's shoulder. I do find it interesting that the windows are perfectly positioned for him to see all four engines from this position. I mean, the map operator may have to lean back a little bit, but he can see all four of them from his seat. The pilots, of course, they do not have any control. Oh, by the way, this is the door. I'm standing on it. That's the door that goes down into the nose gear. This is how they would come up. They would come up and down that stairway right there. The ladder, as it were. Anyway, as we move up into the cockpit, of course, you can see the controls they do have. They've got their trims, and these might be secondary controls here. I didn't notice those earlier. Looks like they have circuit breakers for prop pitch. They have their lights. They can feather the props from up here, looks like. These are the feathering circuits. So if they lose engine power, they can feather the props out, keep them from windmilling. And of course, the bomber gear sits up front here. He'd crawl over, and then his chair would flip up, so he'd have his back drop. And there's the gun side. Now, the bomb side of the B-29, I know nothing about this, but there's a bubble level there. Your sight here, and they have it aimed at the picture on the wall of this B-29 here. There's several dials here. Like I said, I don't know what any of this does, but looks like a vernier scale. Might aim. I'm not sure how they lined it up on their target. There's so many dials. I'm not sure what it all does. Either way, that's pretty neat. Each of them have their oxygen regulators next to their seats, so they can have oxygen on whenever they're at altitude. Of course, it's pretty cold up there, so they have their heating ducts to each station. Some of them have been disconnected, but they're all still there. I don't know what this hand pump here is. So I'm assuming if hydraulics fail, this is a way to manually lower the gear